Please be seated. The following prayer has been influenced by the ideas of Martin Luther King Jr., who spoke to the Lycoming students from the podium in the chapel in 1958. The idea I have borrowed is that of a world house, which he introduced in his final book, Where Do We Go From Here? Chaos or community? Let us pray. God of us all, creator of the universe, one God called by many names, we give thanks for planet Earth, a world house in which we, by grace, now live. We acknowledge that we often consider our sky bluer, our sun warmer, our spaces on the planet the best. Remind us that neither the sky nor the sun nor the spaces are ours, but belong to you who gave it as a gift to humankind, and that we are called to unite our efforts to create a livable world house, a place of peace. On the occasion of this, the 178th Commencement, we gathered to give thanks to those who preceded us, trustees and faculty, staff, students, and alumni, who through the years transformed an academy into Lycoming College, dedicated to the search for truth that is personal, academic, and spiritual. We offer special thanks for those who nurtured and cared for us from our birth to this day, who helped create for us opportunities, and who provided for us in ways we may not yet have discovered. We include in this Thanksgiving all our family members, parents and guardians, brothers and sisters, aunts and uncles, grandparents and great-grandparents who have helped us along our way. And we thank our fellow students who in classrooms and laboratories, on the playing fields, in band and choir, in the theater and the art studios, in dormitories, on governance committees, and fraternities and sororities, and a multitude of other places, have been true companions and partners along our journeys. We lift before you, for thanks, those faculty and staff who have, in a multitude of settings, opened our minds to new things, help sustain our spirits, and enable us to see new directions and purposes for our lives. Many of us arrived here uncertain of our futures, and some of us are leaving with little clarity about our next steps. We pray for guidance and courage to take those steps when they come. Help us, O God, to see that the first of these will be before us in a few minutes as we walk across this stage, to accept our diplomas from one of our own, Chip Edmonds, completing his freshman year as our president, and another of our own, Mark Fultz, chair of the trustees. Both of these persons took the steps before you and offer assurance that you will find your own steps into the future. May God go with you. Amen.
Good afternoon. and greetings on behalf of the Lycoming College Board of Trustees. And congratulations, class of 2026. Many of you may wonder, who are these trustees and what is it that they do? As far as who, we are 30 mostly, but not exclusively, alumni of Lycoming, representing a wide range of backgrounds. What do? We give of our time, knowledge, and experience to advise the president in the matters of the school. Are we paid? Wishful thinking. Not only are we not, we are expected to generously support the school philanthropically. So why do it? Well, this year, there are 220 reasons sitting right in front of me. I, like my fellow trustees, look back on my Lycoming years as being truly transformative. My success in life has its roots in the many unique experiences during my Lycoming years. Based on the impact Lycoming had on our lives, we feel compelled to give back so as to ensure that you and future students have the same opportunities that we were provided. As time moves on from this day forward, you will all gain a growing realization of exactly how impactful your Lycoming experience was. And I guarantee that you've all gained something special here at Lycoming. You've received personal attention from a professor when you've struggled. Maybe you were involved with sports and found a coach not only driven to win, but also who helped make you a better person. Or maybe you discovered the benefits of an affinity group. Regardless, the person you are today is much different than who you were when you first stepped foot on this campus. So here's what I ask of you. When you get the call in future years to financially support Lycoming, you will get that call. Think about what Lycoming did for you and act like a trustee. Give back. Best wishes, class of 2026.
Thank you, Chairman Foltz, for your welcome and words of wisdom for the class of 2026. And I would also like to extend a couple other invitations to those who will be addressing you today. First, our senior speaker, Anna Glantz. Now, Ms. Glantz needs little introduction to her fellow graduates, but Anna has distinguished herself as one of Lycoming's finest. As a student, a musician, an athlete, a campus leader, an outdoor leadership and education champion, a community advocate, a future educator, and a proud second-generation graduate of Lycoming. So we are excited for you to grace us all with your words as you speak on behalf of your friends and classmates about the remarkable 4 years you have shared together at Lycoming. I know how proud your parents are and family of you and your time at Lycoming. I'm also very pleased to acknowledge Dr. Lynn Kramer, class of 1972. Dr. Kramer, your exceptional career and contributions to the medical field have reflected exceptionally well on this community for now over 50 years. And while your formal achievements and accolades will be shared as we confer your honorary degree, we are grateful for your presence today and for the ways in which your Lycoming education equipped you to compete and contribute to healthcare on a global scale. We very much look forward to your address and welcome you, LaVon, and your family to today's ceremony. I have two other quick introductions, And this is a very special day as we take a moment to celebrate and recognize those who are here as Lycoming College alumni, as legacy parents or grandparents or siblings or even aunts and uncles. Now, whether you prefer to stand or just wave, but I want to take a moment to acknowledge you and your special relationship with this community and our graduating class. Welcome. Now, may I also draw your attention to today's commencement program to note our faculty and staff who are retiring this year. As a residential community, our colleagues do so much to enrich the academic and learning experiences of our students. Collectively, our 7 faculty and staff who have given 168 years of service to Lycoming. It is most appropriate to acknowledge all of you and to thank them today as we express our thanks and gratitude for their dedication to Lycoming. Thank you all. And now, most importantly, the class of 2026. I am truly thrilled to share in this day with you. And it's a first for both of us, but a far more momentous day for each one of you and all those who have come to celebrate with you. And as we commemorate one of the most significant achievements of your lives, I find it particularly apropos that the opportunity for me to offer my reflections are noted as a moment in the program. And as I look out at all of you today, give me a minute to do that some more, I am reminded of so many moments that have been a part of our shared experiences at Lycoming. I am also sure that as you sit here today, you are flooded with so many of your own memories and experiences of your moments over the past 4 years that you have shared with each other, with faculty members and coaches, counselors, career advisors, and perhaps even a dean or two. Time has a way of making even our extended experiences and chapters in our lives feel like a moment. You have accomplished and achieved much over your 4 years at Lycoming. You arrived on the heels of a global pandemic and did so much to remind me and many others what it means to live and learn in community. You came to Lycoming to push yourself academically and to engage with faculty members who expected more of you. You took courses that expanded your knowledge and exposed you to new ways of thinking. You wrote tons of papers and honed your capacity to effectively communicate. You studied for more exams than you care to count, and in so doing, you demonstrated to your faculty and fellow students your command of the material and your desire to learn. You also came to Lycoming to be a better version of yourself, to have a college experience that would shape not only your mind, but your body and soul as well. You decided to take risks both in and outside of the classroom to build your confidence and increase your readiness for your career, your graduate school or professional degree or military service. And as student athletes, you competed in over 1,000 athletic events that required you to prepare physically and mentally to be at peak performance. As musicians, artists, and actors, you practiced, memorized, and examined the depth of who you are as a person to make you more aware of what it means to be human and to both see and share what is beautiful, good, and true at a time when we need people as much as ever who understand the human condition and are anything but artificial in their intelligence. As leaders and individuals, you stewarded organizations and engaged in hard conversations. You did not retreat to your own corner or give in to easy stereotypes and judgmentalism. You gave of your time and resources to the community to learn more about the needs of others and the ways in which talent is equally distributed across humanity, but opportunity is not. You pursued an education with and among people from very different backgrounds and experiences, and as a result, you learned that civility, kindness, dignity, appreciation for difference, and finding common ground are the most powerful forms of human capital. And finally, you invested in friendships and relationships that have changed the course of your lives and will be instrumental in all that you do and achieve. So what are you to make of all of these moments that collectively represent your Lycoming education? So this is where I'm going to call upon my own cultural reference. As dorky as you may think this is, it's certainly a touch point, if not simply entertainment, from the 80s and 90s. Karate Kid. Now, some of you may have watched more recently on Netflix the Cobra Kai series. If you haven't gone back and watched the OG, I encourage you to do so. But here's the deal. Daniel Rousseau unknowingly becomes exceptionally good at the art and craft of karate because his teacher, Mr. Miyagi, asks him to spend an inordinate amount of time doing incredibly difficult and time-consuming assignments, if you will, jobs that seem to have no connection to his training and desire to learn how to do karate. Yet these chores and experiences given and assigned by an exceptionally capable teacher become the backbone of his capacity to learn a physical art form that ultimately changes the course of his life. Now, don't hear me wrongly. Your Lycoming education has been far more dramatic, expansive, significant, and real in its outcome for your life and career. And I want to affirm that through all your Lycoming experiences, you have indeed been equipped and prepared for all that lies ahead. But here's the point. What may feel like hundreds of disparate assignments and activities are actually an incredibly rich amalgamation of experiences that will position you incredibly well to compete in the world. And I invite you to continue to live into the defining characteristics of your Lycoming education. You will realize successes that others will not. You will recognize and appreciate the benefits of hard work and persistence in ways that others will not. You will seek out new ideas and opportunities that others will not. You will have the ability to learn quickly and solve difficult problems in ways that others will not. And you will think deeply and act boldly to influence your communities and world in ways that others will not. What you have done and learned here is what the world needs of you. As you graduate and embark on your next chapter, go with the confidence, the humility, and passion to be the best version of yourself because of the extraordinary moments that have defined your time here. And when you need to be renewed or reminded, you are always welcome here. Well done, class of 2026. I'm grateful for this moment with you.
I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. Ooh, I can see all obstacles in my way. Ooh, gone are the dark clouds that made me blind. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. Ooh. gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. Boom, choom, ba-doom, boom, choom, ba-doom, boom, choom, ba-doom, boom, choom, ba-doom, boom, choom, nothing but blue skies. Oh, blue skies. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. Ooh, I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that made me blind. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. Sunshiny day.
Good afternoon, President Edmonds, administration, members of the Board of Trustees, special guests, faculty, staff, and a warm welcome to the family and friends who loved us long before Lycoming and those we are lucky enough to be leaving here with love for today. When I first arrived on campus 4 years ago, someone asked me, why did you choose Lycoming? Back then, I could have answered instantly. But when someone asked me the same question this January, I felt myself pause. It felt wrong to not know the answer, but the truth is that the answer had changed. As a senior in high school, I thought I knew exactly what Lycoming would be for me. I thought I was choosing it for practical reasons, because another college didn't have a music program, because deadlines were creeping in, because decisions needed to be made. It wasn't some grand poetic destiny. It was a choice that felt simple at the time, but felt right. However, life has a quiet way of revealing meaning where you don't expect to find it. Lycoming has come to mean more to me in so many ways than I could have envisioned 4 years ago, and I know many of you feel the same way. I realized that the question had shifted from why did you choose Lycoming to, if given the choice again, why would you choose Lycoming? And suddenly my list was endless. This semester, I read a play called Every Brilliant Thing, where the narrator makes a list of all the small, beautiful moments that make life worth living. Ice cream sandwiches, receiving a gift you didn't know you wanted, sunlight through a window, etc. And without realizing it, I started making my own version of that list for Lycoming throughout my everyday life. Going to choir, seeing Kristen in 1812 every Monday morning, stopping by Barb's office just to say hi, and walking outside after a long day of classes to feel the sun on my face. Tiny moments, daily moments, the ones you don't realize shaped you until you look back on the memories and feel it in your heart. Moments that to someone not experiencing it may seem mundane, but to us and to our experiences are the reasons why we've chosen Lycoming every day these past 4 years. Now, since I know everyone here except Mike Smith has a phone, I want you to take a moment and pull out your notes app. Write down 3 moments from your time at Lycoming that brought you joy. Come on, I see you getting the phones. Not the big ones like getting your acceptance letter or finishing finals. Those are obvious. The little ones, the ones that reminded you, even on the hard days, why this place mattered. Right now, think about the details, the people, the little moments that come to mind when you think about Lycoming College, and jot them down. Since this is graduation and not my classroom, I won't make you think pair share with a neighbor, but I'm willing to bet at least one of your moments involved a friend. Maybe it was your teammates, your roommates, your sorority sisters, someone who sat next to you in class and unexpectedly became your person. And honestly, maybe you wrote about the people that your future kids will call their aunts and uncles and have to explain that they're not really related to me, they're just my parents' best friends from college. Okay, now, raise your hand if you know the Lycoming College alma mater. All right, that's what I thought, scarce. As a choir kid, I've been singing it since my first year, and the words have changed a little since then, but it wasn't until recently that one line truly hit me. Abidingly true, old friendships and new find worth in the bonds of Lycoming. Friendship is woven into the good of this place. We arrive to a campus full of strangers. We leave with the people who feel like home. And throughout every class, every new semester, every time the student population shifted, we learned to keep opening ourselves to new people, new relationships, and new connections that will last far beyond today. We've experienced that old friendships and new have found worth here as we've watched upperclassmen friends graduate and in turn welcome underclassmen to campus and into our organizations. Lycoming has given us opportunities, challenges, joy, questions, growth, and community. It's shaped our thinking and our character and taught us to think deeply and act boldly. It's given us chances to research, write, create, and lead. It's made us better, sometimes in loud, obvious ways, and sometimes in quiet, gentle ways we didn't know were happening. Oh, as we walk off this quad alumni, as we walk out of this gym alumni, I hope you carry those simple joys with you. I hope you keep this list that you wrote today and keep adding to it. I hope you continue to show up for the Lycoming community the way it's shown up for you. Support the future generations of your teams and organizations. Attend alumni reunion and homecoming weekends for many years to come. And remember that Lycoming is always going to be your home. So, here's one more brilliant thing to add to your list today: graduating college. Class of 2026, remember who you were 4 years ago and reflect on who you are now. We did it, we earned it. Congratulations.
Dr. Lynn Kramer is an executive leader, clinical neurologist, and pioneer in pharmaceutical research. Dr. Kramer graduated from Lycoming College in 1972 with a bachelor's degree in interdisciplinary studies. He then received a doctoral degree in medicine from Hahnemann Medical College, now known as Drexel University. And he completed his internship in internal medicine at the University of California at Irvine and his residency in neurology at the University of Virginia. Kramer is currently the Chief Clinical Officer of Deep Human Biology Learning and a member of the Executive Committee at Eisai, a Japan-based pharmaceutical company. In these roles, he oversees the product creation cycle, including clinical introduction and regulatory approval of innovative projects for all Eisai products. Kramer's extraordinary contributions to advancing Alzheimer's treatments most recently garnered him recognition in Time magazine as one of the 100 most influential leaders in healthcare. Over his nearly 20 years with Eisai, Dr. Kramer has previously served as the Executive Vice President of Global Clinical Research, Chief Operating Officer of Medical Research, President of the Scientific and Operational Clinical Support Core Function Unit, and President of the Neuroscience Product Creation Unit. During this time, he oversaw the development and regulatory approval of several new molecular entities. Outside of his work at Eisai, Dr. Kramer is a fellow of the American Board of Psychiatry and Neurology, the American Academy of Neurology, and the Philadelphia College of Physicians, while also serving as a member of the Pharma R&D Leadership Forum. A dedicated member of the Lycoming College community, Dr. Kramer served the college on its Board of Trustees from 2012 to 2016.
Dr. Lynn Kramer, in recognition of your remarkable national and international contributions to the fields of medicine and healthcare, I hereby confer upon you the honorary degree Doctor of Science, honoris causa, with all the rights, honors, and privileges thereunto appertaining.
Sorry, I need to get the right glasses here so I can make sure I can. Make sure I can see. These bright lights don't help. So, President Edmonds, Provost Kingery, Board of Directors, Deans of the College, members of the faculty, friends, family, some of which graduated here with me, and most importantly, the class of 2026. It is indeed an honor for me to be here today for this commencement. It has been 58 years since I matriculated in 1968. And 54 years since I graduated from Lycoming College in 1972. In 1968, my parents drove me car loaded with all kinds of clothes, much of which I never wore, and other stuff like a thesaurus, which I did use, across the never-ending Route 80 from Connecticut to begin my first year at Lycoming. At the time, I said in an oft-referred-to family joke, "You're not going to leave me here, are you?" In 1972, I sat on the quad, like we were supposed to do, looking toward the gym, so you'll have to put yourself on the quad, which is now the art building. It was surrounded by sapling trees, very small trees, and they have grown to be huge over time when you go and see those trees. In fact, one of the board members broke his arm on one of those sapling trees in a football game. Oh, my times have really changed. When I arrived in 1968, the men's dorms, if you were on the quad, were on the left, and the women's dorms on the right. The quad safely separating the two. Sundays required a coat and tie to dine in the cafeteria, which, by the way, is still the cafeteria. Food's much better, but it's still the same. At last, to have a date, a boy had to go to the front desk of the dormitory building where the girl lived and check them out like a library book. Sign your name and agree they would be back no later than 11 o'clock p.m. Or like a book at the library, she would be restricted from checkout for the future. I remember very little about that commencement day, except it was hot. I was sitting in the bright sun, perspiring. And today, I don't have the faintest idea who the commencement speaker was. And I'm sure you won't later in life. Therefore, I'll try to make this succinct, funny, thought-provoking, intellectually stimulating, memorable. I'm sorry, I promise to keep it short. That commencement day, I was eagerly looking forward to the next steps in my life in Philadelphia. I am sure you have someplace to go after this also. I assume that prior to asking me to speak, President Edmonds probably had called many celebrities that might have spoken to you today. But as with celebrities, they were all busy. Instead, he offered me this opportunity to talk to you. So in thinking about what I might talk about, I first decided it would be best to listen to some commencement speeches by celebrities of various types, some highly educated and others just special people. I would see what kind of thoughts these people shared and their wisdom that they provided to others in the same situation as we find ourselves today. You may not know all these people as they represent a diverse group of backgrounds, each having achieved many different things during their lifetimes, and therefore their thoughts may have insights to consider. So let me provide a few of those. You try to guess who said it before I tell you. This I particularly like. If they can make penicillin out of moldy bread, they can make something out of you. Muhammad Ali. A graduation ceremony is an event where the commencement speaker tells thousands of students dressed in identical caps and identical gowns that individuality is the key to success. That's Robert Orban, who's a comedy writer. Here's one for some of you today. When they hand you your diploma, keep moving, just in case they try to take it back. And that's an unknown person who said that. Success is often the result of taking a misstep in the right direction. And that's Al Bernstein, a sportscaster. Some of you all may have seen him in the past. He's quite a bit older than many of you. As you can see from these quotes, there's a positive and a negative for almost everything, depending on your perspective. Charles Dickens wrote his famous line of introduction in A Tale of Two Cities. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. This phrase can mean so many different things to different people. To some, it even represents a song, more of my vintage, or Chips maybe, President Edmonds. A song of the same words by the group Styx. To me, it highlights my trip through life. The same events lead to completely different interpretations depending on the lens of time and the stage of your life. This consideration translates to the need for resiliency, as disappointment may later be interpreted as a valuable lesson. And success gives you sometimes a greater perspective. Disappointments can be life lessons, and successes may be transient, but a first step. As I noted in my opening words, on that first drive across the expanse of Route 80, and you can imagine in 1968, the 5 houses that are on Route 80, there were even less. Almost 60 years ago, and it seemed as if I was left in a forlorn spot. Things brightened even on that same drive as we came over the mountain on Route 15, popping into the true Happy Valley, right here on the Susquehanna. Now, over the years, it seems an even brighter spot in my past as I reflect on my life's journey. Those late 60s and 70s were very tumultuous years. People I lived with for these 4 years took various paths, some of them driven by pessimism and likely unwise, while others committed to optimism and hard work, looking forward to the future. It is okay to be an optimistic contrarian. I think so, at least, as I am a bit of one myself. To me, the following are two of the most important things to consider in life in order to keep looking forward and later backward to say, I have a life well lived. Leave your legacy. Firstly, remember your own stories and understand them as they teach you lessons. And secondly, consider carefully what your aphorisms or truths of your life are. What do I mean by remember your own stories? And why are they important in learning about yourself and enjoying your life? These stories can provide laughter, both for you and your families. They can teach you and others valuable lessons, and they provide the fabric of your life, your complete story, your legacy. Let me provide a few personal vignettes from my days at Lycoming. When I was here at Lycoming, I was initially a psychology major, but as my interests changed, I finished as an interdisciplinary major, focused on the sciences and with plans to go to medical school. I was a serious student and had dreams to achieve my goals. I was in my second semester in inorganic chemistry with the head of chemistry department, Dr. Radspinner. I took the final exam and handed it in, feeling so confident and happy with myself. I felt I would have validation of all the things I had chosen in my path. He corrected the exam in front of me as I had finished early. And as he corrected it, first with the multiple choice key, and then later each non-multiple choice question, I could see I was correct, answer after answer. The outcome, a 99. As you may or may not know, and please don't take this wrong, chemistry professors here, but everyone knows this is true. Chemistry professors are not known as comedians, and he certainly was not. He peers up at me over his glasses as I was standing up watching him correct this, and he said, "Lynn, you did a very good job," and I was beaming. And then came the suspended but. But you are no Joanne Sherm. I won't talk about Joanne here, but she was the measuring stick for all those in physics and chemistry. This little story has stayed with me for my lifetime for many reasons, and I enjoy it even today. You can always be measured, and sometimes the hurdle may be higher than you can achieve. But Dr. Radspinner, humorlessly, taught me an interesting lesson in his own way. There are levels of success, and you cannot always be the absolute, unimpeachable best, but you can try to be. Enjoy the effort. It will help you later. Each of us has their own Joanne. Just think of that. You've all got Joanne somewhere in your past or future. Without them to keep us honest, who will? Certainly not your parents, who have their own dreams for us. Don't sell yourself short, even if you face this high hurdle. There are many notable things that happen to everyone, things to be remembered. President Edmonds selected me to speak today because of achievements he and others felt would highlight what former Lycoming students have done and what you can do, in addition to my availability, of course. Things like the Lifetime Achievement Award for accelerating global epilepsy research, or the Time 100 Health 2026 award to the 100 most influential people in global healthcare. My receiving these awards highlights the opportunity that this small college in the other Happy Valley in Pennsylvania, Lycoming College, has provided you starting today forward. Now let me describe what I consider some of the aphorisms or truths to live by that I may emphasize a bit too much to my own reports at work. However, I do this as I believe many of these oft-used expressions are important. They've guided me well over the years. First, though, it is important to identify your own aphorisms, your own truths, and reflect on them frequently, as they help mold your direction and keep your own nose to the grindstone. My kids hate my saying this phrase, as I've reiterated to them many, many times over the years, and I continue to, even though they're in their mid-40s or late 40s, depending. My daughter is here in the audience, and she can attest to this. Let me provide 7 frequently stated aphorisms. Number 1, do not fall for false narratives, as there are many. Many generated to suppress your own initiatives. The world is competitive. Change other people's lives. In doing so, it will change yours. But be true to your goals, as you can, of course, live only once, at least currently. Believe that one person, it could be you, can impact the world with key decisions. These can be simple things, contrarian things, just looking at things a little differently by not taking others' words for things, but looking through a new lens. 4, do not sleep through life. If you do, you will regret it. 5, complete tasks, even if you expect you will fail. Try to make that as rare as possible, of course, and constantly push so it doesn't happen again. 6, life is long. This gives you opportunities to change and reinvent yourself with the skills you have previously learned. This is particularly true if you know your strengths and reflect carefully on them. Remember, no matter how winding it is, follow the yellow brick road, as you will meet many memorable people, each of which provides a chance to have memorable stories about what was around the next turn. 7, change is constant. You must keep learning new things, especially through new and varied experiences. You have to be persistent, keep adapting to the changes, seize on good luck when it presents itself, as it will if you provide it the opportunity to do so. And now let me add one additional one, which is my personal touch. Be able to do your next job before you take it. Don't be afraid to take that job, but prepare and be ready for it. People may disagree with this one, especially those of celebrity status, who have achieved positions of comfort, many of which no longer practice what they preach. And they espouse them in commencement speeches frequently, as I listen to many. I believe that promotions in life should be earned, not given. You likely will find this true. To the class of 2026, you're moments away from graduating, moments away from beginning your journey. Or as actor, comedian, writer, rapper, etc., Andy Samberg said at a commencement speech, you are graduating from college. That means this is the first day of the last day of your life. No, that's wrong. This is the last day of the first day of school. Nope, that's worse. This is a day. Take advantage of this day and all those that will follow. You are privileged to grow as a person here at Lycoming. Don't waste what you learned. Don't waste the opportunity. It is at your feet. Seize it. For if you don't, someone else will. You have time. It is on your side as learning never ends. Take risks to make achievements. Be audacious in pushing yourself, as after it all matters most to you. Try to understand and make what makes you special, and stay true to it. Remember the Lycoming College Warrior slogan. Hopefully, more of you know that than they did the song. Think deeply, act boldly. Let me end with, go Warriors.
I am pleased to announce the recipients of the Edward J. Gray Prize for the highest grade point average in the senior class who are marching today: Zoe Victoria Dodson and Gracie Mae Fitch. Please stand and be recognized. The recipient of the Edward J. Gray Prize for the second highest grade point average in the senior class is Abigail Collins Umhofer. Please stand and be recognized. Mr. President, on behalf of the faculty, I have the privilege to present those students who are marching today who will graduate with honors. The gold cords they are wearing identify them. Will those students who will graduate summa cum laude with highest distinction please stand? This recognition is reserved for those students who have earned a grade point average of 3.9 to 4.0. As I read your names, please remain standing until President Edmonds has recognized you. Gökçe Atun Ajan, Shelby Alexis Belts, Chase Bauer, Sean Ciccatello, Zoe Victoria Dodson, Kate Elise Finkbeiner, Gracie Mae Fitch, Matthew Grayson France, Colton William Hans, Jordan Lee Hassinger, Andrew William Hines, Charles D. Caralfa, Coben Alec Carper, Matthew Joseph Muddis, Zachary A. Pleska, Cole Richard Sharpnack, Chloe Summer Shendigay, Abigail Collins Umhofer, Cameron Lee Upcraft, Jacob Adam Wagers.
In recognition of your superlative academic achievements, Lycoming College awards your degrees with highest distinction. Congratulations. You may be seated.
Will those students who will graduate magna cum laude with high distinction please stand? This recognition is reserved for those students who have earned a grade point average of 3.7 to 3.89.
In recognition of your superior academic achievements, Lycoming College awards your degrees with high distinction. Congratulations.
You may be seated. Will those students who will graduate cum laude with distinction please stand? This recognition is reserved for those students who have earned a grade point average of 3.5 to 3.69.
In recognition of your academic achievements, Lycoming College awards your degrees with distinction. Congratulations.
Will those who will graduate with departmental honors please stand? Graduates cited for departmental honors have received the highest distinction that can be bestowed by an academic department. Departmental honors are reserved for those who have excelled in their chosen fields of study.
In recognition of the excellence that you have achieved in your major field of study, Lycoming College awards your degree with department honors. Congratulations.
Will those who will graduate as Institute for Management Studies scholars please stand? Graduates cited as Institute for Management Studies scholars are those who have completed a major or minor in accounting, business administration, corporate communication, entrepreneurship, or economics. They have earned an overall GPA of 3.25 or higher and have completed a program of special seminars and an internship.
In recognition of your accomplishments, I am pleased to confer upon you the status of Institute for Management Studies Scholar. Congratulations.
Will those who will graduate as Lycoming scholars please stand? Graduates cited as Lycoming scholars are those who have earned an overall GPA of 3.25 or higher, have completed a special program of interdisciplinary seminars and an independent study culminating in a senior project.
In recognition of your accomplishments, I am pleased to confer upon you the status of Lycoming Scholar. Congratulations.
The recipient names of all of these awards, along with the complete list of graduates, can be found in your program. Will the faculty and trustees present please stand? Mr. President, on behalf of the faculty, I have the honor of presenting to you the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Arts. All candidates who have satisfactorily completed this course of study or will complete it by the end of the fall are recommended for the Bachelor of Arts degree by the faculty of the college. Will those who will be graduating with the Bachelor of Arts degree please stand?
By the authority vested in me by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and by the Board of Trustees of Lycoming College, I hereby confer upon those of you who have satisfactorily completed your degree requirements the degree Bachelor of Arts with all the rights, privileges, honors, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. Congratulations.
You may be seated. Mr. President, on behalf of the faculty, I have the honor of presenting to you the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science. All candidates who have satisfactorily completed this course of study or will complete it by the end of the fall are recommended for the Bachelor of Science degree by the faculty of the college. Will those who will be graduating with the Bachelor of Science degree please stand?
By the authority vested in me by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and by the Board of Trustees of Lycoming College, I hereby confer upon those of you who have satisfactorily completed your degree requirements the degree Bachelor of Science, with all the rights, privileges, honors, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. Congratulations.
Students, faculty, and trustees, you may be seated. I will now read the names of all the graduates as they come to the stage to receive their diplomas. President Edmonds will present the diplomas. Joining him in congratulating the graduates are Board Chair Mark Fultz, Alumni Association Executive Board President Ms. Holly Andrews, and Commencement Speaker Dr. Lynn Kramer. We will begin now with the Bachelor of Arts degree. Cameron Elise Abdo. Olua Tamelore Adidaji Ibrahim. Adalise Alexa Alarcon. Alexis Alarcon. Claire Estelle Alexander. Alex Almonte. Cynthia Anaí Alvarado. Carlos Arcos. Nicholas David Arnold. Rachel Elizabeth Barnable. Natalie Elizabeth Bates. Taya Rain Bauer. JJ Beagle. Dante Alexander Badia. Vaughn Belford. Shelby Alexis Belts. Caitlin Marie Benna. Riley Block. Joshua Botger. Chase Bauer. Atsin Bravo Guzman. Mahalia Breen. Robert Brittingham. Victoria Jean Burton. Adriana Marie Campisi. Elijah J. Carruthers. Jessica Castillo. Myra Cerón Campos. Amanda Blee Chirowski. Kira Antoinette Chinichi. Sean Chicatello. Brendan Michael Clark. Leonard George Coca III. Gabriel Lynn Kolpetzer. Cassandra Connor. Shay Corcoran. Anthony Michael Kugart. Zenai Jordan Cruz. Eli Crum. Marco Antonio Cuazzo Antonio. Alora Catherine Davies. Kyle Austin Davis. Dawson DeBebe. Chris Jaja. Carly Page DeBrinio. Joseph R. Dotolo. Kenneth J. Draper. Mason Robert Drozel. Alexandra Ann Eckerson. James Stewart Ellis. Ty Alexander Estes. Landon W. Evans. Christian Michael Faby. Lydia Grace Farber. Ashlyn Noel Fish. Allison Olivia Fisher. Gracie May Fitch. Eliza Hannah Flanagan. Kai James Foster. Matthew Grayson France. Aaron Michael French. Jasmine Elizabeth Fuentes. Gabriela Lily Fugon Chayeb. Stargell Donald Fior. Kristen Lee George. Nicholas J. Gerace. Thomas John Geyer. Anna Rochelle Glantz. Riley Carlia Godown. Denia Gooden. Claudia Jade Green. Trayson Ryan Green. Matt Guido. Caitlin Shea Geiswhite. Colton William Hans. Braden Michael Hart. Jordan Lee Hassinger. Max Casper Hill. Andrew William Hines. Nicholas Hoheb. Aniston Elaine Holbrook. Hannah Ray Hooven. Emma Craig Hopwood. Noah Alexander Huffman. Joel Inman. Sierra Star L. James. Jada Lynn Johnson. Jalen Alexander Jovel. Charles D. Caralfa. Coben Alec Carper. Emma Catherine Kelchner. Myla Jane Kelly. John Francis Kelly III. James Fitzgibbons Kirschner. Melody Califf. Colby Edward Killian. Greta Riley Kimball. Gray Kishbaugh. Megan E. Klansick. Carson M. Klein. Pamela Coons. Braden C. Cotter. Kenneth David Quasi. Luke Kovaleski. Brendan Christopher Kreiner. Lydia R. Krazan. Zach Casimir Kudlachik. Toby Sivan Later. Sophia Rose Lerner. Brody Sturgis Lindsay. Samuel Lewis Litz. Megan Lonigan. Kimberly Lopez Velasquez. Catherine Ann Lochran. Shaden Ludwig. Riley Paige Marinez. Janielle Elizabeth Marsteller. Juliana Grace McGovern. Colin John McGrory. Ryan Patrick McLucas. Imarilis Cristal Mercado. Emma Elizabeth Mitchelltree. Grace Elizabeth Moore. Catherine Paige Mullins. Catherine Murillo Navarro. Cameron Alexander Myers. Joshua Joseph Wu Neidert. Kenichuku Somtu Oberova. Faith Okereke Mba. Oscar Orlando Ortega. Connor Alexander Penz. Brian Calvin Perez. Sean Robert Perkins. Samuel Max Paulett. Rocco Louis Polizzi. Nicholas Puzio. Genesis Nicole Quintanilla. Nicholas David Reeder. Brittany Nicole Reese. Erin Michelle Riley. Marcela Cristal Reta. Jordan Miles Reinhardt. Alexis Catherine Robinson. Melissa Robles Ramos. Mallory Jane Rodermill. Anaí Almanza Rodriguez. Nathaniel Dwight Salduti. Mario Carl Simoni. Kelsey Schaub. Michaela Jade Chi Sidor. Jichme Senejust. Jose Luis Servín. Alex Thomas Setliff. Camille Sagrici. Autumn Ray Shahan. Cole Richard Sharpnack. Chloe Summer Shendigay. Tanya Lee Schroeder. Michael Carl Sips. Isabel Gail Slater. Cole Michael Slazak. Charlize Faye Smith. Kylie Elise Smith. Ethan Tucker Snyder. Haley Marie Sobieski. Julian Bernard Steller. Anton Daniel Stratz. Ariane Mary Strickland. Kayla Chanel Swan. Hayden Alexis Tenney. Richard Robert Trapanese. Matthew Allen Trollinger. Abigail Collins Umhofer. Annie Noemi Urbina Monterroso. Isaiah Michael Valentine. Michael Joseph Van Horn. Olivia R. Varner. Kai Jaden Vista. Caden Scott Wagner. Malachi Nimamia Emmanuel Watson. Ariana Welch. Chayton Rains Wesneski. Josiah Cade Whitcomb. Jake David Wilbur. Aubrey Lynn Williamson. Ava Olivia Williamson. Gregory Alexander Weirin. Ashlyn Wolf. Hannah Rachel Wood. Haley Jolise Woodring. Lane Garrett Yoder. We're now going to begin with our Bachelor of Science degrees. Gochi Hatun Adajan. Isabella Gilda Bobet. Daniela Dodu. Zoe Victoria Dodson. Claire Elizabeth Eberly. Kate Elise Finkbeiner. Lily Grace Finkbeiner. Bibi Semeya Goji. Megan Rose Gorsuch. Melanie Hine. Wyatt Neal Hudlofsky. Isabel Rivera Jackson. Mackenzie Grace Koch. Carter J. Lilly. Matthew Joseph Muddis. Remley Ann Nance. Ryan Alexander Pence. And now earning both a BA and a BS, Zachary A. Pleska. Grace Ruthann Rote. Haley Teresa Schaefer. Dylan Connor Seck. Cameron Nicole Smee. Brendan Charles Smith. Natalia Hope Thomas. Natasha Angeline Torres. Cameron Lee Upcraft. Jacob Adam Wagers. Cameron Scott Warner.
I would ask you all to stand while the choir sings the benediction and remain standing as the alma mater is played.
Give me your hand immediately. Hand.
Graduates, so please remain standing for one more moment, and guests, you may be seated and remain as we recess from our ceremony today. Graduates, I invite you to turn around, scan the room, find your people, family members who have made this day possible. Give them a little shout out. Family, shout right back. Let's go. Graduates, you may move your tassels. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the class of 2026. Thank you all for being with us today. I encourage you to join us for the recession afterward in Lamedy Gymnasium as we process out this afternoon. Congratulations, class of 2026.